The FBI reports General David Petraeus' biographer and alleged mistress Paula Broadwell is cooperating in the case. As we reported here earlier, the feds are investigating materials they seized from Broadwell's home, they tell us, to try and figure out whether she committed any crimes. Judge Andrew Napolitano is with us, our senior judicial analyst. There's a lot to mull over here. He's the author of this new book, Theodore and Woodrow, How Two American Presidents Destroyed Constitutional Freedom. Speaking of constitutional freedom.
Well, I've been defending General Petraeus' constitutional freedom. He didn't betray the country. He may have betrayed his wife, and he's still entitled to the protection of the law, as is Mrs. Broadwell. We don't know what level of security clearance she has. There are 3 levels. The president and General Petraeus and folks like that have the highest level. Bradley Manning of WikiLeaks fame had the lowest level. Mrs. Broadwell probably had a level somewhere in between. So the question is not, did she have any classified materials? The question is, did she have classified materials to which she was not entitled? At her level of clearance, she's entitled to a broad array of classified materials. So the FBI will have to go through the materials and decide if each one is above her level, in which case they're going to ask her where she got it, or within her level, in which case they will not ask her where she got it.
Big picture here, I still can't put my finger on how it is that they got past the first part of the investigation where they looked to see if any crime had been committed, came to the conclusion that one hadn't, yet they kept going into people's stuff.
Shep, you really put your finger on it. That's very interesting here. We start with a case that may have commenced with an FBI agent willing to use the Federal Bureau of Investigation to deliver a favor to his friend. If this case started because Mrs. Kelly's friend in the FBI decided to look into who was sending her this email, it turned out to be Mrs. Broadwell. If it started out for an improper reason, it didn't start out because the FBI had evidence of criminal activity, which is what they're supposed to have when they start an investigation, then everything that they found as a result of that investigation is questionable as to whether it could be used in any prosecution. The FBI itself said, whoever leaked this stuff, there's no criminal or national security implications. So hence the Shepard-Smith question. Then why did you keep investigating? Just because the guy's name was Petraeus? You should have stopped as soon as you found out, as soon as you concluded there's no criminal activity and there's no national security implication. But they didn't stop. They kept digging and then decided to leak it. The president must have known about this before Election Day. I fully agree with Ron Kessler. He knows more about the FBI than any non-FBI person of whom I'm aware. And there's a lot more pieces of the puzzle that need to come out.
Well, that's the thing. For the record, the president says he did not know. There was time for reporting on this in the future. But you mentioned this matter of no criminal activity. There are rules that protect Americans, no matter who they are.
Right.
And if the initial claim from me or you is, I'm getting harassing emails, well, that barely passes muster with your employee, much less with the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Right.
Unless you are somebody. And we're not sure who all the somebodies are.
Look, this somebody, David Petraeus, was a big target for whoever brought him down.
I was talking about Jill Kelly.
Oh, okay, right, unless she has a friend in the FBI. The FBI has not admitted that this is the way the case started. But if it did start with a personal friend, a federal agent, using the FBI to deliver a favor to his friend, he has serious problems, and the investigation has serious problems because it started with an improper purpose, and therefore what is learned in this investigation that was started with an improper purpose is of doubtful validity as evidence to prosecute anybody who may have committed a crime.
Yeah. Shirtless photo sender befriends. Jill Kelly says, I'm getting harassing emails. Shirtless FBI, this is the story we've been given, shirtless FBI guy takes it to the FBI opens an investigation, and then just walls started falling all over the place in the middle of what's supposed to be privacy laws for Americans. We'll see where this goes. It may be that there's something bad happening here, this needed to happen. And it may be they were overstepping. We'll find out, right?
Yes, we will, Shep. We'll be talking about it for a while. There's a lot of missing pieces to the puzzle. We keep getting more each day.
Yep. Judge, thank you.
Well.